Aren't you tired of this soy-based entertainment? Well, let the world know by ordering your Soylo, a Soy Wars Story t-shirt, or Tico, a Soy Wars Story t-shirt. Both come in all kinds of sizes from small to 5XL. We're sure we can fit you. And thank you very much for your support of the channel. The link is below in the description. Man, it's exciting. Suddenly I'm a t-shirt merchant as well. Humble Frog Ink and t-shirt merchant. Thanks, guys. Alright, Alden, look, it's not so bad. A 73% on the tomato meter. It's not so bad. I mean, look, I have no doubt at all, that score has been driven down by people who couldn't wait to diss you. These early reviewers, they saw the movie, they couldn't wait to run home and write their smarmy little internet review to just put you down and make you feel bad about yourself. But Alden, I think that people who have had more time to consider it, responsible reviewers, once their reviews come out, as they're bound to, that 73% is bound to go up. It's bound to go up, right? Oh. Alright, thank you. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, welcome. How do you like that new Han Solo intro? Is that okay? I hope you dig it. I am Ethan Van Sciver. This is Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am a comic book artist. I've drawn all of your favorite comic books. Took me 25 years to do it, but go check. You'll see my name on every single one of them. I'm also a great big Star Wars fan, which is why I'm here with you today. And why you're joining me. Yeah, we both share that in common. However, it's a stormy sea. It's a troubling time. It's a difficult era as we find ourselves with the first ever Star Wars movie. How do you feel about this 70% here? This has got to be the first Star Wars movie with a tomato meter that looks like this. Normally this would be a 9 and this would be an 8. Let me see if I can fix that. It's not working. It's not working. I can't fix it. It's a 70. Yesterday it was at a 73. It was at 73%, and I was very, very worried about it. But I figured it would, it would go up. No, it's plummeted. It's plummeted 3 points in 24 hours. This is worrisome indeed. Now, at this rate, let me just first let you know, 59%. That is the benchmark for this to go from a tomato to a green. All right, that's going to happen. That's going to happen at this rate. Should this score plummet at this continuous rate, it's going to end up at a 49 by the time the movie premieres. And that is most definitely most definitely. Yeah, I'm worried. I think everybody's worried. Disney's probably scrambling. The scariest indication of how bad things are. Yesterday there was a very weird event. Yesterday, all of the garbage tier Star Wars Shill media sites, all of them, including me, I'm the worst. Okay, Comic Artist Pro Secrets, basically all we do is we just report on whatever the news is. We just report on what the news outlets are saying. We don't have a source of information. We just read and react to what the Star Wars garbage tier news sites are saying. So we don't really care if we're right or wrong. The point is reading what they say. Now, it turns out that they were wrong when they said that Disney had announced in France a Lando Solo project to go forward immediately, following the success, quote unquote, of Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, I do not blame them one bit. I don't blame them. This totally makes sense. All of the reviews say that Alden Ehrenreich, well, he is he's a plank of wood on the screen. He just doesn't have the charm. He just doesn't have it. He doesn't have the sex appeal. He doesn't have the rock and roll masculinity of Harrison Ford. He cannot inhabit that role. He cannot fill Harrison Ford's shoes. He can't. He can't fill them. Everybody was wondering, can he fill those shoes? The answer is no, he can't. But Billy D. Williams steps aside for Dong Lover. Billy D. Williams loves Dong Lover. He loves him. And you know what? Everybody does. Everybody does. If you go and read these reports, if you go and read these reviews from BuzzFeed and from all of these Collider, they all love Dong. They all love Dong. And they are, praising him. kind of at the expense of Alden Ehrenreich's reputation. I feel not that is should be a concern of theirs. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Disney, of course, is going to pick up on this, and they're going to say, "Hey, we have a hit on our hands." Yeah. Star Wars' biggest a-hole in the entire series, the biggest jerk in Star Wars, Lando Calrissian. Maybe he's a lead. Maybe he's a lead. Maybe he's not a treacherous fair-weather friend who plays foil to Han Solo, and indeed all of Han Solo's friends, who betrays everyone who trusts him. Maybe he's not that. Maybe he is a romantic leading man. Maybe we should do a whole story about him. Yeah. So that was their thought, and of course, when the I don't know. I honestly, was there just some kind of mass delusion when everyone started to report that a Lando Calrissian movie, solo movie, was going to be put into production by Disney yesterday? It took a few minutes. No, it didn't. It took 3 hours for Disney to come out and deny that whole thing, and to say that whole thing was fake. To say that whole thing was fake and phony and made up. Well, I want to, just for a minute, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of one Dong Lover. I want you to imagine that he's at home right now watching these reviews come in. And he's seen the movie. He was in the theater. He was in the theater probably just head in hands. Every now and then dabbing his forehead with a handkerchief. Do they still do that to people? No? Miserable. Watching the movie screen and knowing the pain that it was going to cause a lot of people that he had worked with. And it wasn't his fault. He did everything he could. And then he sees the reviews coming in, and his worst fears are justified. He realizes that all of his suspicions, all of his insecurities have been validated. This movie is a bomb. It is going to be a 49%. It is. And that's when he gets the word that Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say, I was going to say that I was watching Return of the Jedi a little while ago, and I'm at the part where Luke is threatening Bib Fortuna, and I just thought Bib Fortuna looked an awful lot. No, I'm not. All right, I'm not saying that though. I'm not going to say that. So, So anyway, she reports that there's a Lando Calrissian movie in production, or going to be in production, and Don Glover is just sitting there with all of his friends and advisors. I don't know, he's floating around in his pool with his sunglasses on, and suddenly everyone all around him is panicking, saying they're trying to tell people that you're going to be in another one of these. And Don Glover has to sit up and say, tell them no. I don't care what it costs. I don't care if I'm breaking a contract. You tell them I'm not going to do this. And if they try to make me do this, I'm going to make a music video about Disney the same way I made a music video about America just recently. Same tone, same message. Kathleen Kennedy, of course, blows her top, freaks out, full-scale panic, doesn't know how to deal with Don Glover. The press they go to the presses, and they let everyone know that this was all a lie. It was all a delusion. It was mistranslated French. Who knows what it was? But it's not happening. No, we're not going to make a Lando Calrissian movie. Please don't sue us, Dong Lover. Don't persecute us with your art, Dong Lover. People need to be more afraid of art. They do. Art can be very powerful. So that's what's going on right now. I'm almost positive. And of course, we're going to see this tomato meter score plummet even further. That is inevitable. That's inevitable. It's going to happen. It has to happen. The fact that Dong Glover has basically destroyed any chance of there being a Lando Calrissian movie follow-up to this is evidence that it's going to get worse. We're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Can you imagine the very first Star Wars bomb? Can you imagine? Can you imagine this tomato meter being telling people not to see a Star Wars movie? I don't think Disney knows what to do with a bomb when it comes to Star Wars. Look at how Paige Tico made them fall through the vacuum of space. They don't even know what bombs are. The Last Jedi was such a mess. Yeah. Well, Richard Roper here is giving it an okay review. I mean, let's look at what Richard Roper is saying. Now, Richard Roper is unique. Okay, Richard Roper, he joined Roger Ebert. It used to be Siskel and Ebert, and Gene Siskel used to beat the tits off of Roger Ebert during the show, like physically. I mean, he used to just kind of slap his ears back, give him a wedgie, wet willy, purple nurple. He used to do all that stuff to him, and just literally just beat the pants off of him in front of everyone. But Roger Ebert liked it. Like he liked Gene Siskel. When Gene Siskel finally passed on, Roger Ebert was lonely, but it was his turn to be the bully. And so that's what he did. He got this guy Richard Roper in there. Richard Roper, a much more handsome, debonair man, but very simple in comparison to the fat angst, the fat nerdy angst of Roger Ebert. And Roger Ebert, he did the same thing to Richard Roper. He tried to beat the tits off of him, and it was problematic. It was unpleasant to watch. And eventually, Roger Ebert passed from this mortal coil as well. And Richard Roper is now all by himself, finally free at last to say things like this, without fear of being criticized by a fat nerd. One of the lighter of the Star Wars adventures, entertaining as hell, but not particularly deep. Yeah, it's lighter. There's nothing to it. Read between the lines. It's a piece of garbage, Richard Roper, and you're being kind. This is like when Roger Ebert gave a glowing review to Phantom Menace. And say what you want about Phantom Menace. Okay, you might like it, you might dislike it. It doesn't deserve a glowing review. In no universe does that deserve a glowing review. And yet, it deserves a glowing review, apparently in comparison to Solo, a Soy Wars story, which is now currently sitting at, boom, you can't escape it. It is wherever you look. 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, they must be panicking. They must be flipping out over there. Can you imagine? We've got, of course, they've set up their troll accounts to block Star Wars fans from coming in and saying, I'm upset about this. Action is insane. Also, all these fake accounts need to piss off somewhere else. Fake accounts? What are you talking about? These people are brave patriots. 19%. Yesterday, our boycott only represented 13%. Okay, this is 81% want to see this movie. That means 19% of people actually filled out the form to apply to belong to this website so that they could simply, and it's a long form. You want to see what it looks like? I'm going to pretend I'm not interested. I have to fill out this form now. I have to give them my email. I have to make up a password, confirm the password. Here's my first name. Here's my last name, and I have to be very specific about my password. It's got to have certain, variables there. That's what I have to do in order to just say, fuck this. That's a long way to go for a camel, my friends. And 19%, that's almost 20%. That's almost 1 in 5. 1 in 5 people on this planet. What's that shake out to? About 1.7 billion people don't want to see this movie. And they don't want to see this movie so bad that they signed up to this website just to click, I don't want to see it. And that leaves 81% that do want to see it. But they don't know what they're in for. They don't know what they're in for yet. They have no idea. It's not like Richard Roper's letting them know. No, he's going too easy on everyone. I would call that deception and dishonesty if I didn't feel bad for the way, Gene Siskel used to kick the ass off of him, live on the air, right in front of everyone. Oh my gosh! So guys, we're in for it. I mean, everyone must be panicking. This tomato meter score is dropping like an elevator with the cables cut. I'm sure. Okay, that today this is going to drop into the 60s, and at that point it's just a matter of time before it hits 59, and then we have the first Star Wars bomb. Can't wait to see it. Every day I find new reasons to love you guys. Thank you so much for paying attention to this channel. Thank you for reacting to the alerts that you get on your phone or your device by coming and watching these videos and participating. I appreciate it. Would you mind giving it a thumbs up? If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel and hit the bell notification, I think you should. We'd really like to have you in our community. I'd like to thank everyone who donates to the Patreon. You guys are wonderful. Those are your names scrolling up there. You could join them if you wanted to by pledging $1 or more to the Patreon. The link is below in the description. Thank you to everyone who gives to the Super Chat when I'm doing my live streams. Yesterday we bought a ton of toys from the Super Chat, which are all going to be reviewed. So thank you so much, guys.